Good morning, everyone. It's May 11th, 4 something in the morning. Yeah, I'm not sleeping very much. Anyway, EMP Commission again warns of a year-long blackout and a massive death toll, and right above it, U.S. moves to cut off Iran from global economy. I'm going to try to cover these both now, but with using this unlicensed recorder, I only have 15 minutes, so I might have to do it in two different ones until about 9 o'clock, and then I'll renew it when my money's on my card. So this comes from Max Slavo from shtfplan.com. I'm going to try not to read the whole thing to you. I'm kind of tired of doing that, but I think it's important to revisit certain topics because while the conservatives thought we were in extreme danger while Barack Obama was in office, I tend to think that we're even more danger now. And the reason that is because a lot of the so-called preppers and what would you call them, activists, they've kind of gone back to sleep since Trump was elected, and now you have people just blindly following everything that this dude does. So a federal EMP Commission report warns that even the smallest EMP attack on our grid system would down it for about a year, if not longer. A year-long blackout would certainly be coupled with a massive death toll that would devastate the entire population. The so-called EMP Commission report said that this threat is very real, jeopardizes modern civilization, and would set back living conditions to those last seen in the 1800s. Okay, so what? Big deal. You know what? I think it's high time something massively big happened to the population of the United States, because we have become so fucking complacent and stupid that just maybe, if we didn't have our electronic devices, our alcohol, our drugs, just maybe, people would wake up from their fucking zombification and actually see things for what they are. I've said it many times, a long-term blackout would probably be a godsend. Yes, lots of people would die, but just think about this. How many of those people are the dumb motherfuckers who can't decide whether to go or not on a left turn? How many of those people are barely conscious? Okay, so, and they say that people would die as a result of chaos. Oh, no shit. Millions would likely, well, I already told you that. Assessing the threat from the EMP from the recently re-established commission to assess the threat to the United States from electromagnetic pulse. And this is what the report said. In quotes, the United States, a modern civilization, more generally faces a present and continuing existential threat from naturally occurring and man-made EMP assault and related attacks on military and critical national infrastructures. A nationwide blackout of the electric power grid and grid-dependent critical infrastructures, communications, transportation, sanitation, food and water supply could plausibly last a year or longer. Many of the systems designed to provide renewable, standalone power in case of an emergency, such as generators, uninterruptible power supplies, and renewable energy grid components are also vulnerable to EMP attacks, said the 27-page report. A long outage owing to EMP would or could disable most critical supply chains, leaving the U.S. population living in conditions similar to centuries past prior to the advent of electric power, said the July 27 report provided secrets. I don't like how that was worded, but anyway. In the 1800s, the U.S. population was less than 60 million, and those people had many skills and assets necessary for survival without today's infrastructure. An intended blackout, or that was a Freudian slip if I ever heard one, intended blackout. The extended blackout today could result in the death of a large fraction of the American people through the effects of societal collapse, disease, and starvation. Of course, they do everything they can to put us in this position. I've said it many times that I believe, and I still believe this, if a natural disaster doesn't do it, if the economy doesn't do it, then someone, and I'm leaning towards the left here, perhaps to get rid of evidence so they don't end up in prison, or some other reason. I've said it a dozen times at least that I thought the left would be the people to launch an EMP attack on our country because of all the crimes they've committed against children and other people. You know, that's the easiest, quickest way and most surefire way to get rid of all of the evidence. I mean, of course, there's people that could have, you know, stuff on flash drives and stuff, and put it in a hardened container. But you know, after something like that, people are going to be like, "Who fucking cares?" Okay, so Iran. I think I can do Iran in a short period of time here. What happened to it? There. Okay. I'm going to hit the first paragraph, maybe second, but, well, and the reason I'm putting these two together is because our actions, like this one, could lead to an EMP attack, or could present the motive for an EMP attack to make it look like Iran or Syria or one of those countries did it. 6 years after SWIFT cut ties with Iranian banks during the last round of Western sanctions on the Persian nation, on Tuesday afternoon, the U.S. took another step towards cutting Iran off from the global economy when the U.S. Treasury announced it was levying sanctions on a financing network and accusing the country's central bank of helping funnel U.S. dollars to the blacklisted elite military unit of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard known as Quds Force, acting together with the United Arab Emirates. The U.S. Treasury said today that it had sanctioned 6 individuals and 3 front companies engaged in a large-scale currency exchange network that has procured and transformed hundreds of millions of dollars to Iran's elite military force. Overnight, Israel's government blamed the same Quds force for rocket attacks from Syria Wednesday night, an action that triggered massive retaliatory strikes by Israel's military against Iranian targets in Syria, escalating the risk of a wider regional war. Iran hasn't attacked another country in hundreds of years. They haven't done anything, but the United States, Israel, Britain, France, all these countries, NATO, they've been on a steady war footing for quite a long time now. And they have killed hundreds of millions of people, including mostly women and children, and it's going to be one of these kinds of situations that lead to a EMP attack. And it's not going to be coming from China or Russia or Iran or Syria. It's going to be coming from within. Remember, they want over 7 billion people dead by any means necessary. So, anyway, I thought I'd share this with you. Hope you have a good day. Kill the state before it kills you.